Good morning, everybody. It's Marty the JavaScript Party. Ooh, let me change that to blue. This is kind of my DIY light therapy. First thing in the morning, I always have a blue light in my face, and then around 3 o'clock, I'll shift it over to red, and I'll also bring down all the lights in this room. And I found that it really helps with sleeping, to sort of simulate if you're kind of inside the house all day, especially with me, because I go out and run and stuff at 5 o'clock. So when I used to sit in a dark room all day long, the my body thought that like 5 o'clock in the afternoon was like middle of the day. So that it was really hard to sleep. But I've found ever since I started switching that around, that has really helped with sleep. All right, so we are working on this, and we're trying to basically. Oh, I don't even have it running. CD. Start. We're trying to get it to where when I edit, when I go into like, so I have two views to view a visualization while I'm editing. One is like maximized, so I have actually I'm using the maximum amount of screen available, and the other is configured, and that's showing it the way it will look the in custom view. So so now we're uh, trying to get that. We got it to go to the right size, but we don't have it going to the right place. So that is next. Now, one of the things that I really wanted to make sure was that I didn't end up creating sort of like boundary violations. I wanted to define some really good boundaries between um, edit mode and non-edit mode. So I have three modes right now. One is like custom. So in this is the example of custom mode right here. So and the idea is that at some point I would be able to like what I imagine is like having a big one with a little one over the top of it, or or maybe a big one in the middle with like other views on the side or something. Just like I wanted to be able to place these things. Um, which has ended up being much, much more difficult than I thought it would be. But so this is my custom view, and then this is sort of my linear view, like my tabular view. And then this is my edit view. And so by default, if I've never been to this page before, it is in what I call maximum view. Um, but and then this is configured view. Um, but like if we go to here, so this is, I know from, just lots of being around um, 3JS a lot that this is currently animated to rotate around the y-axis, right? So if I come over here, I see that this is the one that is on the y-axis, so it's not being displayed in the right place, right? It should be being displayed. And see, this is another bug that I need to figure out. But when I come in, it ends up being kind of squished. And so I need to create a bug for that and all that, but it's not that big of a deal. It's easily worked around. Um, and I don't even know what the right solution would be. I think maybe the right solution might be that like anytime you leave something that you're editing, it should kind of reset back to the maximum view. Um, and that would solve that problem. Um, Alternatively, I would imagine if I put a little bit of a delay between, like, I think what's happening is the div itself is probably all narrow and kind of stuck in this part, and then this is kind of showing in its maximum or in that div, and it's kind of being cut off. That would be my guess, but there's just no telling. Um, so, anyways, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get this position. I'm trying to get this position into the edit view, but I want to make sure that like I don't do anything to alter the base configuration, because that's just really easy to do, especially in JavaScript, especially with references. Um, so, so anyways, we need to listen to my new signals, right? So I have two new signals. I can't remember what they're called. They're probably like edit, visualization. Well, actually, I guess I need to fire those two signals off, actually. And so I don't know if I think we are actually setting the left and the right too. Yeah, so visualization left and visualization right gets set. So, and we return this object, this edit dimensions objects. Now, that was a really good, like a very valuable thing I just went through because basically I got to sort of experience coming up to speed. There was a little bit that I remembered. I sort of remembered this and creating these, but um, I came up to speed pretty quick on that. So I think that's okay, and I can't think of a better way. And I actually think naming these visualization left and right helped a lot. Um, although it doesn't look like I ever said it. So I guess we need to do that. So, um, and then I guess we're probably not even testing whether it actually works or not. So we're going edit dimensions dot visualization left. What just happening here? Oh, okay, it's just left and top. Left is equal to visualization left. So by default, if we're in max mode, I'm not visualization left and visualization right will be 0. But um, if we're not in max mode, then the visualization left and visualization top will be um, whatever is the configured amount. And um, once we leave here, all we know is what it is. We don't really want to know why or anything. We don't want any of the brains of like the brains of this of saying, hey, if we're in configured mode to do this only belongs in here. The publisher doesn't care, it just publishes. But we do need to be able to publish it. So, and we aren't actually even, we never even checked. So I always try to do this console.log, and then it's going to be um, edit dimensions, dims, and comma, and then edit dimensions. So we're just going to console log this out. And basically what I'm hoping to see is that when I go into that minimum view, um, that, uh, you know what, actually I want to show that to presentation signal. When I go into that view with the presentation signal of configured, then I want to see that the edit dimensions are proper, are correct. Just because we could end up wasting so much time trying to figure out why things are broken just to find out that they're broken because inspect. Um, just to find out that they're broken because okay, so edit dimensions, maximize object. So left is 0, top is 0. That's exactly what we want right there. That's what was expected. And then keep going. Yep. Okay, so that's perfect, right? So basically, it knows it's supposed to be 200, but whatever draws doesn't know that it's supposed to be at 200 because we haven't told it. Now we need to publish that, and I need to remember what my two um, signals are. So my two signals are visualization no, visualization top and left signal. So I'm just gonna do this. I think this is enough for me to be able to like figure out the correct uh, signal. All right. So we know that this dot edit visual, and see, this is gives me a warm fuzzy, right? Because like this all feels perfect. Um, so is dot top. And then I think we can just copy that, change this to left. Okay, so now we are actually publishing to the world that we what the correct left and top are, or actually not to the world, just to the update system, um, to the update layout, I guess would be the best way to call it. Like system might not have been a bad name, like app, like custom system, tabular system, data system, layout system, but I think, I mean, update layout, update system, but I think this works for now. All right, so we still haven't done this. So now we need to see if when we create our effect, if we listen to this, and we probably should listen to the read-only one in the effect. That's more like for future people. Like someone, because like the only place that should be updating that effect should be um, the publisher or the publisher, yeah. And the publisher really shouldn't be. All the publisher is publishing what the proper thing is supposed to be, and it's not figuring it out. There's a get that figures it out. But anyway, so this is our top signal, and I guess I shouldn't. If I'm not going to put spaces there, I shouldn't put spaces there. Okay. So this is our top signal. And I think what we could do is we can just say like, so if I understand the architecture that I'm gleaning from reading these, I'm trying to figure out why I know this, right? Like I know because I read this that, oh, okay, this needs to be updated from this service. Oh, that's right. Now that I read this, I remember it's because there's not a there's not a service that can listen to this. This is just a regular class. So that's why it has to be done from the service. So that's kind of one of the disadvantages of classes. Um, and there was no way for me to know that because I've never really used these before. But so we could say, oops. Okay, so update um, left position for edit. Oh wow. Yeah, okay. Edit and update are not, in fact, synonyms. Wow. I don't know what they are. So I guess update is like a verb in this case, and edit is an adjective. Edit. And then it's going to accept a left, which is going to be a number, and it doesn't care why it's left, anything like that. And it's just going to return a boolean, which I don't even need to do that anymore since I'm not doing unit tests. But I usually would do that just so that the unit test would read a little bit better. And then console.log left should be space comma left. Right? And so now what we want to do, I think this is how you do it. Uh, and again, um, so it's always going to publish that anytime, all of these things are going to run anytime any of these change. So that can get very confusing. I like this little tennis shoe for execute, so I'm going to say, um, so both of those are going to run no matter what. Anytime any of these signals changes, both of these are going to run. Um, so this dot update position. I believe this is how this works. And it's like this dot left signal. Right. So this should get. You know what? Since I don't care about unit tests, I'm just gonna make this a void. Void is kind of nice because you know, like, it's only a side effect. That all this does is side effects. It doesn't actually calculate anything. So it is actually quite useful. Okay, but we do have some kind of problem. We have an invalid character on line 48. Is that right? 48? No. Oh yeah, there it is. Look at that. You silly goose. Alright, so now let's go back here. Y'all. Add another one. Update. Inspect. Get our console log, which is left should be. That's what we're looking for. Is left should be. Okay, so now let's go here. Left should be 200. Okay, so it's working just like we want. It'll be so much faster to do the other one, like scaffold out the other one right now. Top signal. Make our function. Oh man. Top. Boy, I sure wish. Like, it's just so cool. I mean, I'm writing all this like really cool code. I'm really happy with it, but it's just like the project just isn't doing anything. I mean, we are just literally just languishing, but having a great time in the meantime, you know. And I think that is like one of the things that just drives like the people who like if somebody was paying me right now for this code, I don't think they would be um, too thrilled with me being like, yeah, I'm having a fantastic time. The project hasn't done anything, but I'm having a great time. All right, so now we should get a top and a left, and then I'm gonna have to call it a day. I guess what we want to do is we actually want to go to here. Oh no, do this. Add a visualization. I don't even know. Like, if I think this one ends up being there. So now edit. I think it's just the very last one. I didn't really pay attention, but this one's rotating around the z-axis. That is in fact rotating around the z-axis, and then okay, we have our that there. Top should be 200. Oh, left should be 0. That's exactly what we wanted, right? Because when we go to here, and then yeah, then I think what we want to do is we want to turn this off. You'll notice that come back. See, it stays in there. It doesn't like reflow. But if reflow is on, I think if we come back, yeah, then it goes back up. I turn it off again now. Does it go back down? Yeah. So it recalculated it into the size, and I don't know exactly how that's going to work. But anyways, everything seems to be working. So we have the next little. Let's see. Let's go back down here. Or sign off. Let's take care of. Here are the steps. There we go. So we are listening, and it does not seem to be a problem to listen to the same one. I did not think it would be, but you know, you never can tell. So now in those functions, it looks like I need to call this. So I think we're done here, though. So let's just get rid of those two, and I think we're done with this. Um, with this function for now until we add more things that we want to publish. So this, and then come back up here to our new function. Let's just put that here. Put those comments here. Probably same comments here. All right. And hopefully we remember to create our new bug bar. All right, so that's that. We are, I think all that's left is to take this viz component, this dot viz component class set position and pass it in the visualization. Now, this is probably not the most efficient way to do it because we're calling it and setting it and then calling it again and setting it everything again. But it is probably not nearly as inefficient as it would seem because like the browser does a lot of optimizations to deal with things like this. So it doesn't take it very many cycles to realize, oh, okay, they're doing both every time they do this. So and also even Angular when they transpile it, they may very well optimize this into one call. It wouldn't surprise me. But it's just so much easier for me mentally to come up to speed when I'm in here going, oh, okay, I'm updated to the left. Anyways, happy coding, everybody. Have a wonderful day. Bye.